Hello and welcome to the DeLorean Owners Club UK YouTube channel. Today I'll be unboxing the Playmobil Back to the Future DeLorean. I've had this in my possession since the exclusive initial launch at Smith's Toys Superstore in the UK. I've only recently decided to unbox this now and start producing more content for the channel since I've left it kind of neglected for the past 4 months. Now, I have more things on the way, such as the Igor Moss Back to the Future DeLorean and some reviews on the Back to the Future musical and some other media that I've acquired recently. So let's get into it. So the outside of the box shows a perfect representation of what the car will look like, and Emmett, Einstein and Marty. An oversight on Playmobil's half, or something that they're intending to do in the future, is the neglect of Mr. Fusion. Now the reason I say this is because they're showing that the time machine can invert its wheels, showing that it can fly. But that doesn't happen until the end of part 1 and the beginning of part 2, and the rest of part 2. So, I'm hoping that soon they release a add-on pack to go onto the back, which includes Mr. Fusion and the hoverboard and a new outfit for Marty and Doc. So, the bottom of the box shows all the pieces included and what batteries are needed to run the lighting on the car. Moving on to the back. This gives us a rough idea and a zoomed in version of what the interior of the car would look like, as well as how to power it on and showing Doc putting plutonium into the back of the car. Also, this set 7049459 is a set including Marty and Doc from 1955. I do have these with me right now, which are these. I have already opened it, but I have a second box that hasn't been opened. So these will be put on display along with the car, unlike the other set. So, let's get to opening it, shall we? So, I have now opened the box as cleanly as I can to obviously not make the box look damaged. I have a little bit there, but that's where I caught it with a knife. So, let's see what we've got inside. And this is what we've got. So, a pack including the stickers and the flux bands, Doc's timer, and the instruction manual. So I'll put that to one side over there. Now here we have the main body of the DeLorean itself. First impressions is it's very light, especially when I picked up the box. So that's kind of cool. These little mechanisms under here are obviously where the wheels will turn. And I've heard a lot of people questioning when it first came out, how will the doors stay open? Now, some models, such as die-cast models, seem to have a slight problem with that, in which they don't have mechanisms to hold the doors up. They just end up staying up for a few seconds and then falling back down. Whereas on the Playmobil DeLorean, they took that into consideration, and they've made the doors on a gear system, or so I'm guessing, that locks the doors in place. So they stay up all on their own now, which is better than most models do. Now, taking a closer look on the interior, you can see the flux capacitor back there. That does light up, unlike the speed dials at the back, or whatever their proper name is. They don't. They're just a printed vinyl sticker, I'm guessing. Moving on to the other side, I can't really get it close, but the time circuits are all there, displaying the dates found on the back of the box. Unfortunately, there's no detail on the instrument cluster inside the binnacle behind the steering wheel, which I guess won't be a problem for some people, but for those who like really detailed models, that's going to be a slight problem. Now, moving on to the front, it obviously has space for the grille and the flux bands that go across the front here, and you can see the LEDs that will light it up at the front. Unfortunately, the headlights don't come on, but I'm guessing people who deal with these kind of things will make that happen. Moving on to the back, you have stickers that belong on the back of here where the instrument light clusters are, as well as the rear bumper and obviously space for the flux bands that go around all the rest on it. Moving on to the underside, the compartment here is where the batteries will go, which I'll get to in a minute. But apart from that, the model is very nice and very, very well detailed in comparison to a lot of models. The only thing that is missing is proper detail of the knee pad up front and leg space underneath, but it's a toy, so what else do you expect? Steering wheel as well is off of a different car, but I mean, who am I to judge on that? So put that over there. Now, here's what I'm talking about with the battery compartment. It does take 2 AAA batteries, and it is also designed like the Delorean gearbox, which is a nice little detail, and there's a small button here, which you use for turning the lights on. So I'll put that with the car over there. Now here, we have Doc and Marty and Einstein in here, as well as the plutonium box. So, and as well as the JVC camcorder. Over here we have flux bands and parts of the rear of the car. And here, this is where all the wheels are and the tyres. They have made the front and the rear tyres 2 separate sizes, which is perfectly in keeping with the car. Right. So, I'm going to lay all the parts out and then we'll put it together. These are the cufflinks that go along Marty's sleeves. So he's got 2 of them, and they're really small. Well, that's to fit around the minifigures. I'm not 100% sure what that is, but I think this is for the remote control. I've got some other smaller pieces in here, which we will get to eventually. And as you can see as well, Marty's skateboard. So that's that bag open. Next we'll open the wheel bag. And it'll just be simple to put all these together now. So now, as you can see, the wheels have got very good detail on the tread, and also they do have raised lettering on them. So it's very similar to how the Time Machine had. So as you can see, the DeLorean on this, the wheels hubcaps, but on the real DeLorean, that's what the rims normally look like, unless you've got custom ones like some people in America and in our own club. Right, so all 4 wheels are now done. I'm not going to put them on the car just yet because I've got other things to put together first. So now I'm going to undo the instruction manual, and I know it's a kid's toy, but sometimes it's just too difficult. So here's a sheet that includes all the stickers that go on the back of the car. And as you can see, there are the stickers for the lights, and the plutonium box, and the flux bands. I'm not too sure what these 2 are, but I think they're the wing mirror covers. So, put these over here. And move them over there. So in here, apart from the instruction booklet, we have one rear flux band, the hook that goes on the back of the car, some piping, and I'm guessing that's representing the electrical cables that run down the side of the car, and the plutonium, and along with a couple of hooks that go into the side of the car to hold the cables in place. So as you can see, you've got the yellow handles that go on the top of the plutonium, and the orange casing, which is meant to represent the plutonium storage. Now I have heard with the DeLorean itself, people have been having quality issues with it, as such as the plastic looking slightly damaged, and I can see that on mine, but I'm not overly fussed about it. As you can see, the slight bit of warping on obviously where the plastic's been heated up, the same on that door, but I'm not entirely bothered. It's a cool model and a cool thing to keep on display. Now time to fit the hooks, which I'll need to look at the instruction manual for. So these are the wing mirrors, which I will attach to the car now. As well, I'll open the other packaging. So, we have the rear assembly, which attaches to the back of the car, which creates the thermal vents for the reactor. The socket at the goes directly into the flux capacitor with this hook, and a few more flux bands, and the front and rear bumper of the DeLorean. Now, a slight thing which I wish they'd done is the recessed text of DeLorean. They should have either released a sticker that included all the lettering, or they painted it in silver, which a lot of DeLoreans have nowadays, thanks to DMC Houston and DeLorean Go. Now you have to install the time circuit control switch, but mine doesn't seem to be going down. So I'll have to come back to that at a later date and try and fit that in. As you can see, it'd look a lot nicer if the text said DeLorean instead of just the recesses for the DeLorean. Now the front grille was a little bit tricky to put in, but that's because it had a double-ended tab on either side, which didn't really want to go into the slot very well. It would either catch on the top part of the front fascia or the bottom half. Now, with my car, I'm not going to apply the stickers just yet, as I'm not the best at putting model stickers on. So I'll be leaving them till the very, very end. And I'll do them off camera, so I don't embarrass myself. Now all that's left to do is put the batteries in and turn it on. So, battery pack has now been put together. Now it's time to put it into the car. And there we are. Fully lights up, and I must have accidentally pressed the button when I put it in, so it's now on the time travel setting. And what it'll do is it'll flash for a few seconds and then hold colour. And then it'll eventually shut off. So I'll wait for that to shut off. I'll put together Marty's skateboard, which is just the same as normal Lego skateboard. 2 sets of rollers like that, and just clicks into place like that. Now, Doc has a few accessories such as his tool bag, which clicks on his little belt that he has. Now, I have seen other people struggle to put this in, but that's because it's only a small slot. Here we can see another one of his watches, which I think one of them is Marty's, but I don't know. It also has it's also meant to have it's also meant to have his timer that goes around his neck. But I don't know where that's gone, so... Side note, don't make Doc sit down when he's got his pouch attached, because it sends it flying. So we'll put on Marty's sleeves, folded over cuffs. And we'll put his recorder in his hand. And there we are. That's Marty with his camera and Doc. As well, we've got the remote control, which requires another sticker, which obviously Doc will hold in his other free hand. Now, the time circuit electrical pole has been designed in such a way so that it doesn't actually click into the model, which is an advantage and a disadvantage at the same time. Purely because you can make a diorama and push the car into it, and the hook will slide out of the mechanism, which sort of quite easily, which makes it good for doing short animations, which you push the car into a string or something and it'll pick it up. But it's not as good when you want to just have it displayed around and you want to mess around with it. So I'm not going to put it in at the moment. So I'm just going to put it to one side over there. Now, the only thing that's left to put in is this pink thing and the time circuit control switch, which is a little bit finicky to put in. So I'll do this off camera. So, in a slight turn of events, I've managed to figure out where the little pink object goes, which is in Marty's skateboard, and I've also managed to put the time circuit control switch in. Now, as that's all done, I'm going to attach the stickers that come with the set off camera, and I will show you this once it's all done, because I'm going to put the car into a dark room and show what it's like when it's all lit up. So for now, I'm going to put this to one side and turn my attention to another little smaller set that I picked up at the same time, which is still Back to the Future related. And that is Doc and Marty from 1955. Now, it's a smaller set, including only 2 figures, but it is part of the whole story of the car. So you could set up a diorama including the car going between 1985 and 1955 with all 4 characters in either place. Now, this is supposedly the characters are meant to be bigger than these ones, but I don't think that's true. Plus, this was a lot cheaper, and it was about £6 from Smith's Toys. So I picked up 2 of them. The original one I did pick up had a damaged box, so this is the one that's open now. The one that's not been damaged is safely away, and it's not going to be touched whatsoever. So these are going to go on display along with the car. So I'll come back when all the stickers have been put on and the car's in a dark room. So here we have the time machine with all of its stickers now attached. As you can see, moving on to the front, all the flux bands are a semi-clear sticker, which allows the light to pass through them. As you can see, there's some stickers up there. And then a sticker of the rear bumper. Now, it's not perfectly aligned, but it's because I couldn't get the back of the time machine off. So I'm going to show you what it looks like in dark. So this is what the time machine looks like with all the lights on. This is, in a sense, time travel mode. As you can see, the flux capacitor back there doing its fluxing. Now all this will do is eventually hold its colour like that, and it will eventually turn itself off. And as you can see, well, probably not see, but the flux capacitor lights up the cabin ever so slightly. The one thing I wish Playmobil had done was made the front headlights come on, and also had it so that the rear of the car would come on. So now I'm going to press the activate button twice, which holds the lights on. As you can see, the lights are now holding in place. These do turn off eventually to conserve power, but they do last for quite a while. And there we have it, an entire unboxing of the Playmobil Back to the Future Delorean. I hope you've enjoyed, and please excuse the crudity of how I've done this video. It's the first time we're doing anything like this, so any feedback would be much appreciated, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye!